Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ask Jameen. I am Nikki Willis, and
I'm Jameen.
And today we got a bunch of questions, y'all. Right? Usually we pick one question from a client or past client of ours, and then we go with it, and we spend 15 minutes or so just talking about that question. But it's been ramping up. So, which is awesome. We love all the questions that we're getting, and so we want to answer a few more. So we brought a list of questions that you guys have been asking throughout the week, and we're going to try to answer them. Okay, so I guess I can't say take it away, babe, or go ahead, boo. I just got to ask the questions.
New format.
New format. Okay. It's all good though. Okay, but again, before we get started, we do want to say thank you so much for submitting your questions and just being curious about renting or selling your home or buying a home, being a first-time home buyer. All of these are such good questions, and we love helping you guys out. So here we go. First question: is now a good time to move?
Yep. So, first of all, let's just take a pause for a second. There's still a lot going on.
Yeah.
A lot to consider. So we have COVID-19. Should I wear a mask? Should I not wear a mask? Do I have to wear a mask? Is this open? Is this place closed? It's a lot of things to consider. We also have a lot of things still going on with dealing with racial injustice, protests, a lot of things to keep being updated on, aware of. So there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot of things to consider. There's a lot of things to make sure that you are aware and updated of. So it's a lot of things going on right now. That being said, is it a good time to move? Not just this podcast, but our previous podcast, we talked about, is it the best time to buy? Is it a good time to buy and things like that with the market? So what I try to focus on is when we give advice based on we're in the market, we're in the business every day, but we give you advice based on your particular situation, even though this is a general platform podcast. We try to give advice that you can apply to your specific situation.
Right.
So is now a good time to move? It depends on your particular situation. And right now, my answer is is it a good time to move? Are you actually able to move?
Yeah.
So are you able to buy? Are you able to relocate to another city? Are you able to move from a smaller place to a bigger place? Are you able to move from something that's less affordable to something that's more affordable? So is now a good time to move? My answer is, for the most part, is yes, because we don't know what the future is going to hold. So if you're able to get pre-approved to buy a house now, you want to take advantage of that opportunity, because that opportunity could go away because things are happening so fast. They could change underwriting criteria, where it's harder to get a loan. The market is still doing well, even with everything that's going on. Inventory is tight. We're in multiple offers.
We are.
For properties. Rentals are going very quickly.
Yes.
So that is actually a very good indicator. So is now a good time to move? My answer is yes. I mean, the market is still doing well. Whenever there's, not just real estate, anything, whenever there's a limited supply, the prices are good. So we aren't even scratching the surface on seeing a supply going down as far as values. So if you're able to relocate to a better market here in the Las Vegas area, our market is still super red hot. A lot of people are moving, a lot of people are wanting to move, a lot of people are wanting to relocate. And to be honest with you, if you drag your feet, you're losing out on opportunities, you're losing out on property. So now is still a great time to move. all things considered with everything that's going on, and if you have the ability to improve your situation, either getting something that's more comfortable for your space or a better financial decision, now is actually, yes, a great time to move. And if you drag your feet, a lot of times you'll miss out on a good opportunity.
Okay.
What else we got?
Straight from his mouth, guys. Okay, next question. How long does a unit have to be rented out to be able to use that income towards qualifying for another purchase?
So yeah, this is more on the investing side.
And we haven't talked too much on investing.
No, not a lot.
Not on
not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But we are definitely going to be talking more about investing and things like that. So stay tuned. Those of you investors out there and looking for income properties, stay tuned. We got some things for you coming up. Okay, continue, Boo.
The short answer is there's not really a time period. So I guess I can answer every question. It depends on your particular situation, right? When people do that. But how long does it take? So typically you want to have a year to where you file tax returns on that rental income.
Okay.
That way you have a tax return added to your income saying that this is how much more I need to make. Now, they can use that rental income if it's less than a year, but they give you like 75% of the credit. So if it's less than a year, they take off, factor in for like vacancy and things like that. So they give you credit for like 75% of it.
Okay.
Now, this is what we call conforming loan, so a conventional loan or FHA loan. FHA is something where you're supposed to live in the property, or conventional is you live there or you don't live there. But if you live there for a year, you file your tax return, you can count that as income. Okay. If it's less than a year, they give you like 75% credit of that rental income. So if it's $1,000 income, is $750.
Okay.
Now there are programs that are for specialized programs that we call portfolio loans that are for investors, where they can give you 100% credit for that rental income, even if it's less than a year, and they look at like the rent roll or Schedule C. But typically portfolio loans have higher interest rates and more requirements for a down payment.
I see.
So there's not really a particular time period. If you want full credit for it and you know that you'll get credit for it, it'll be a year. If it's less than a year, look at getting credit for like 75% of it, or paying a slightly higher interest rate or more of a down payment to get credit for that rental income.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Next question. I've been thinking about getting into real estate and getting my license. Is real estate hard to get into and do?
Don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. So
he's just kidding, y'all. Here comes the real answer. Okay, go
ahead. This is a question I've gotten a lot over my whole career. I've been getting a lot of people inquiring about it recently. Like I said, I mean, we love what we do. We love real estate. We love helping people accomplish a goal of home ownership or relocating to another city. But real estate is not easy. And I think that, like we said before on some of our other podcasts, people watch HGTV, they watch Selling LA's, Selling New York,
Property Brothers.
And although, those are real people, but the average realtor, the average day-to-day is not that episode that you see on that TV show. So real estate can be very lucrative. On a positive note, real estate can be lucrative. There's not a lot of things that you can do to make the amount of money that you can make with the educational requirements, so it's not that hard to get into as far as getting a real estate license and going to school, but you actually learn how to be a realtor, learn the real estate business while you're in the real estate business.
So more learning on the job or on the job training type
so real estate can be hard to get into. It's not hard to entry level get into, but to actually sell houses, rent houses, build up a clientele, and do well, it can be a challenge. Not to say to deter anybody from getting into it, but I'm just letting you know it's not as easy as it looks as HGTV. Like we said, people think we just drive around and show nice houses with sunglasses every day. So let me make sure I got the question right. So people that consider getting into real estate, things to consider is, are you a people person? If you're not a people person, you can still get into real estate. Thank God I have people like my wife.
And you're not a people person.
Yeah,
no. But
I'm a trained
you're more of an
salesman, and I'm more of an introvert. But if it's a topic that I'm interested in or I'm concerned in, I love helping people.
Yes.
But I just don't like a bunch, like crowds.
You're just introverted.
Yeah. So social distancing is not really a big thing for me.
Right, I'm struggling.
But if you're a people person, you love looking at real estate, you love searching for nice houses and things like that, I think that you can excel in real estate. But if you really don't like talking to a lot of people, you don't like sales, you don't like prospecting, real estate could be a challenge. And
this is not a passive type of income based business.
And another thing, a lot of people think that they should get a real estate license to invest in real estate. It's actually the complete opposite. So investing is more of more passive, to where I don't have to sell to anybody. People don't have to know who I am. So in investing in, you don't have to have that salesy, you don't have to have the real estate license. It can be more of passive income. Being an agent and being a realtor is more about branding and marketing and things like that. An investor is more about strategy, product, and being in a position. So you actually don't need a real estate license. So I don't want people, it can be beneficial, but it's definitely not necessary. So if you're considering getting into real estate to be an investor or to invest in the real estate, I would say strongly reconsider that or look at it. But if you're looking at it as a career, you're a people person, you love houses, it may be something that you want to get into, but just don't think because you want to invest that you have to be a realtor or get your real estate license, and don't go off of what you see on TV.
That's a good one. Good answer, babe. Okay, last question. What's the difference between Henderson and regular Las Vegas, and should I consider Henderson over regular Las Vegas? So I get this is a question for people who live in the Las Vegas area or considering moving to the Las Vegas area. So Henderson is a actual city right outside of Las Vegas. So it's right next to each other, but it's actually a separate city. So it's like a suburb right outside of Las Vegas, of the city of Las Vegas. So if you live in another state, look at a suburb that's outside of your city. So if it's like in Ohio, where we lived in Cincinnati, you have Fairfield versus Cincinnati, Ohio. Or if you have like in the Columbus area, you have like Westerville versus Columbus, Ohio. Or if you have if you live in New York, like a New Rochelle or New Albany, is a city, a suburb outside of that main big city. So if you come from a suburb outside of the major city that you're from, you might want to consider Henderson versus Las Vegas. It depends on your lifestyle. So one of the main things that you want to consider when you're considering the city of Las Vegas versus Henderson is families. So if you like the nightlife, you like being right in the middle of the action, Henderson is probably not the place for you. Even though, we actually live in Henderson. We're 15 minutes from the Strip. We're 15 minutes from the airport, but we don't live right in the middle of the hustle and bustle of the city. Right. We need our sleep. And we got kids.
And there's places on the outskirts of the city that are not right in the heart of everything, but you want to consider things like schools. One of the reasons why we picked Henderson is we researched the schools, and the schools that matched what we needed for our kids was in Henderson.
Right.
Henderson is more of a family-oriented area. So from schools to parks,
Lots of parks.
restaurants. There's plenty of parks, walking trails, and things like that. And we have kids that are younger. So if you have kids that are younger and you don't want to see spearmint rhino trucks riding down the street with half naked women in them, you won't see that on a day-to-day basis in Henderson, but you could drive 15 minutes into the city of Cincinnati and be
City
right
of
there.
Las Vegas.
City of Las Vegas.
Cincinnati's not gonna have that.
Right. And see that. So those are things to consider. But on a positive note, if you're in the city of Las Vegas and you want to start a business or own a business and you want to be close, you may want to consider the city of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Or if you just want to be right in the middle of everything,
Right.
city of Las Vegas is a place for you. And then you also have your Summerlins, and you have your North Las Vegas that's further north, more out towards what I call the mountains. Not what I call actual mountains. So you want to consider that. So it depends. Like I said, if your lifestyle is more family, you're used to the suburbs. You don't want the city life. In my early 20s or early 20s, we
might have considered that in our early 20s.
Yeah. So if you want to be close enough to where you can get to everything, Henderson is for you. If you want everything right there in one spot, city of Las Vegas is a great option for you. But there's Henderson, there's North Las Vegas, and then there's the city of Las Vegas, and then you have Summerlin, which is still in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So Summerlin is like a suburb also, but it's still considered in that city of Las Vegas area.
Right.
That would be why you would want to consider moving to Henderson versus Las Vegas. And if you didn't see recently, Henderson was ranked number two as the safest place to live. So that's also in the nation for our size. It was the number two as the safest place to live in the United States.
So all good things, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, and we love Henderson. We really do. So if you want to be our neighbor, if you want to move here, if you want to move anywhere in Las Vegas, we can assist you. Thank you guys so much for all of the questions that you guys are sending us. As we're getting more of these, we're probably going to be stacking them so we can answer more questions and you won't have to wait week after week. So if you want more information on the Willis team, on any of our Ask Jameens, you can find us at the WillisTeamLV.com. You can also find all of our social media and our YouTube channel at the Willis Team LV. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you guys next week for another episode of Ask Jameen. Bye.
Bye-bye.